Hey, we're broadcasting live again on Spreaker.com. So, I had to start it all over, everything. Who knows? But, you think about this, this kid. I was into talking about this kid earlier. Our PC police, we've got our people, our schools freaked out so much where they freak out when they hear, a word and they go, "Oh my God, that's racist. We got to call the police," because we just don't know how to handle if somebody is making a racial remark towards somebody else. I'm like, you're kidding me. So you get this kid who goes to school. He's 9 freaking years old. 9. He doesn't understand. Most kids don't understand even how to be racist at that age anyway, unless they're taught by their parents. And her name, if they said they called Brownie, would be a term for, could be for a Hispanic, or it could be for a black guy or black person. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't mean just because they're brown, it's because it's a black person, or brown is Hispanic. So they're using that him saying brownie is, that's a racist term. It's a frickin' snack. Generally, if you hear a kid that's 9, they say the person was black. They don't say the person was brown. But if they were calling brown for Hispanic, well, her name is Dos Santos. So she's Hispanic herself. Her kid's probably Hispanic. So, you think about it, they call the police on them because they're talking about food. This teacher, whoever it was, freaked out and called the police. I said they're getting called 5 times a month. Then there's a problem with that school. That school needs to have somebody come in and teach them what racism or racist remarks are. Now I can understand if the kid got up and he calls one kid the N-word, or calls the other one a wetback or something like that, calls him some name like that, then I can understand that's racist. Or but I guarantee you, if they were talking about country music and they said honky tonk, they would not be calling the police in there thinking it was racist against white people. Even if they would have said honky, I guarantee you that call would not get out there. So, you're there was on Alex Jones, Infowars.com. I don't know if you saw it where they call it the knockout game. A 16-year-old black kid sucker punches a 12-year-old white kid with brass knuckles, and they call it the knockout game. If it would have been a 16-year-old white kid with brass knuckles knocks out a 12-year-old black kid, it would be on every news station. They would have the police there. There would be riots. There would be all kinds of crap going on. They call it the knockout game. I don't care if it was a white kid doing against a black kid. It could be termed racist. If it's a black kid doing it against a white kid, it can be termed racist. If that's in that area predominantly where they like to beat up, black kids like to beat up white kids, then that can be termed racist. But to sit there and punch a kid and they go, well, he was making remarks to me. Well, they had it on video, and they had other witnesses who said, didn't happen. but he punched him with there's a clip on. You can go on to Infowars.com, and it's called Knockout Game. It says video shows a 16-year-old sucker punch a 12-year-old with brass knuckles. And then it says under it, and this is by Paul Joseph Watson. He said, if races were reversed, this would be a national news story. And I have to agree with him. You know, it says the kid who did it was saying that because he was running his mouth, saying he was an MMA mixed martial arts fighter and he could beat him up. However, the witness recorded the incident, told investigators the victim did not even see Millsap coming. I watched the video. He punches him from behind. Slugs him right in the side of the jaw. Broke his teeth up. He thought he had gravel in his mouth, and it was just his teeth were all broken up. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever. You don't need to have that done to you. I think it's ridiculous what our society is determining what is fun, what they think is cool. Oh, hey, look what I did. I knocked this kid out. I'm a badass. Yeah, as you punched him from behind. Now, you're a real tough guy. Or you, or I hit him with a ball bat, or I beat, all four of us beat him up. Yeah, wow, you're a really tough guy. I don't think Ustream wants to stay on tonight. So, I don't know what's going on with my streaming services for Ustream, but that's acting up. Let me see. I'll shut down some other apps. Maybe that'll help. But right now I'm getting about... my Ustream is not even responding. So I'm frozen over there. Oh, well. Yep. It says my CPU usage is just under 20%, down around 16%. And I can't stay streaming, so I don't know what's going on. It must be the internet, must be a little unstable still. It was good for Joe's show last night. It broadcasted the whole show, no problem. We'll see. It just sits there and goes boop, 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 goes right down and then quits. So no biggie. So what we're going to do is stay and we'll broadcast just live on Spreaker, TuneIn, and Twitter. As long as we can. But I did want to talk about, talking about that knockout game. You think about it. You see, I lost connection to Ustream. Yeah, that's a shame. But, you get, I was going to talk about, let's see here. Oh, we got to talk about the Deadpool. Yeah. You got, story in the news. TSA apparently, and this is Memphis Airport. Let me see if I can get bring up the story with this. I was just let me see if I can. There we go. Here we go. Bringing it up right now. All right. Here, so that's why it's acting up. There are many of us in America. The heck is going on with this computer? I have no idea what's going on with these. But it says there are many of us in America scratching our heads over the TSA. Some of the restrictions seem to be kind of feel-good theater. But this one ends up being a little disturbing. I don't know if the heck? Well, we're going to do it. I got to take another break. We got the computer acting up here. I'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Hey, Dan. How's the day going so far?
My day couldn't be better. You pull up less than 3 minutes after I open my Lyft app, and how do you greet me? With a kind hello? Just delightful.
Great. Care for a cookie?
A cookie? A chocolate chip cookie? You know, I'd love one.
Sure.
Hey, let me ask you something. How did you know I love this song?
I mean, come on, it's the Cold War kids. Everybody loves them.
Whoa! Who taught this guy how to merge? That was a fantastic merge!
Couldn't agree more.
That's it? That's all this costs? What's this thing running on? Smiles and high fives? You son of Mike, I love you!
Thanks. Have a great day.
Lyft. Driving you happy. Just download and go.
Well, we're back. I don't know what happened there. It kind of did a little glitch there, and looked like it was going to kick me off again, but now it's back on. So, who knows? I was talking about we're TSA in Memphis. Let me see if I can bring that article back up. Apparently, let me see here. Yeah, it's see how long this article is gonna. I gotta do is find a more stable website that's kind of jumping around. I hate that when you get all the little pop-ups on it. But it was TSA in Memphis. Apparently there was a special needs girl that was traveling. And she's done it for like 17 of her 19 years she's been alive. And she is... You know, in other words, my connection has gone to crap. So the outage indicator from Mediacom is shows almost the whole state down. This happened probably about 5-6 times in the last 2 months. I said, so unstable. I know it's happened multiple times during my show, and I'm only on Mondays and Fridays, so it's not like, I mean, I guarantee you there's other times that this is going on. It's irritating to sit there and be in the middle of a show and your connection is so bad that you can't even bring up a web page. You know? So it says the article I was talking about was TSA being sued for beating a deaf, partially blind teen recovering from brain surgery. I mean, you look at her face is bleeding. She's got a cut on her forehead or whatever. She's crying, all because the TSA thought that she... Oh, and they said, and then they say, well, they should have called and told them ahead of time that she was special needs. It says the Cohens are asking for $100,000 in damages. Bull crap. I'd have asked for more than that. That's ridiculous. The humiliation that they have to go through, you know, is ridiculous. You know, they take and dunk a girl like that who has no understanding why she's being treated the way she is. She's there going through TSA screening, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, she's getting dunked on the ground. For what? She has no idea. All she knows is she's being manhandled by somebody. And I guarantee you they didn't need to handle it that way. I guarantee you that they let it escalate up. They could have solved the situation without it ever getting to there. But somebody was probably like, you know, wanted to act like a big shot. Here's another article that came out. This is one that drives me nuts with the way our society is right now. It says the three of the 5 detainees swapped for Bo Bergdahl are now ISIS leaders. Let that sink into your brain. It says, it is being reported that 3 of the 5 detainees involved in the swap have joined ISIS in Syria and Iraq as commanders and using the rank to usher an Islamic caliphate, a Sunni Islamic theocracy, contrary to Obama's claim that ISIS is not Islamic. It said the Taliban 5, who were transferred from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to custody in Doha, Qatar, are Mohammed Fazl, Karazak, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it, Abdul Haq Wasig, Nurullah Nuri, and Mohammed Nabi Omari. They have largely disappeared from view since they were dropped off in Doha. But eyewitnesses place Wazik and Nuri in Iraq and Syria fighting with ISIS. So they posted in there, it said with this article, or with this thing, if this is true, Article 2 of the Constitution clearly states that treason is so. I mean, you think about it. That this could be considered treason. And a lot of people are very upset with, when they let the 5 go. We've always been where we never negotiated with terrorists. Well, trading 5 for 1, who was a deserter anyway, had a lot to... So, And in other news, and we're going to make it a short night tonight because I'm going to try to last as long as I can before I get knocked off again. But it says, a lot of people every news station. Oh, by the way, this is, they said boycott CNN. CNN is a blackout right now going on. And there's a lot of people that are involved in it. Well, I don't pay attention to CNN anyway. I haven't watched them for years. But talking about where Attorney General Loretta Lynch, with her private plane, had a 30-minute meeting with former President Bill Clinton. Well, it is so obvious. They said, "Oh, well, we discussed family and we talked about grandkids and his golf game and stuff." I'm just like, are you flipping kidding me? Did you think we're that stupid? Actually, they don't care for that if we're not, because they will just sit there and flat lie to your face. How can you lie to somebody's face and sit there and say it? You mean to tell me that former President Bill Clinton sits there and waits for Loretta Lynch to arrive so he can go there and talk about grandkids in his golf game? He could give a rat's ass about, he might give her a wave. I could understand it if he saw her, say hi, whatever. But there's way more to this story. Even Andrea Mitchell, she came out, and it says, Andrea Mitchell, he says, Lynch and Clinton meeting, creating conspiracy theories that Bill is lobbying to acquit Hillary. It says on Thursday, Andrea Mitchell reports, host Andrea Mitchell, of course, states that the meeting between Attorney General Loretta Lynch and former President Bill Clinton has led to a lot of conspiracy theories that even before Hillary Clinton has been interviewed by the FBI, to our knowledge, that somehow this is Bill Clinton talking to Loretta Lynch about clearing Hillary of the email investigation. Mitchell said, though there weren't enough conspiracies already out there, former President Bill Clinton was in Arizona flying in a private jet, private airport. So was Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General. She flies on a small government plane. They both have Secret Service security details. And it is, we are told, traditional that when Bill Clinton knows that a cabinet secretary and other protectee like Senator Ted Cruz during his campaign is in the area, he'll say, "Oh, let me say hello," because the Secret Service details talk to each other and say another unit is about to arrive. So did he say hello to Loretta Lynch? Met with her for about 30 minutes. She said it was completely social. They talked about grandchildren. But this has led to a lot of conspiracy theories that even Hillary Clinton has been interviewed by the FBI, to our knowledge, that somehow this is Bill Clinton talking to Loretta Lynch about clearing Hillary of the email investigation. Mitchell added of the Clinton-Lynch meeting, it does, I guess, fuel the conspiracy theorists and shows that it wasn't smart of either of them to have a private meeting. It shows to me that she is supposed to be the senior law enforcement officer or whatever, and she has the FBI investigating this guy, Bill Clinton, or Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton's wife, who is running for president at the time. And how bad does it make it look where she's meeting up with him? It says, people sit there and they They talk about they talked about the meeting and what the different things can be involved, but it said this came out across on InfoWars. It says FBI at Clinton. It says the FBI blocked journalists from taking videos and pictures outside the secret airport meeting between former President Bill Clinton and Attorney General Loretta Lynch. It says the former president steps into her plane and then speaks for nearly 30 minutes privately. It said ABC 15 reporter Christopher Sine said about the Phoenix meeting. The FBI there on the tarmac instructed everybody around no photos, no pictures, no cell phones. That doesn't sound legal for FBI agents to block the press from filming outside a government meeting. That's clearly in the public's interest. And the fact they did reveal the meeting wasn't as innocent as the Obama administration wants you to believe. It said, with the FBI swooping in and preventing video evidence, is there any doubt in your mind that the meeting was planned well beforehand and not some random event like Bill Clinton said? A former commentator at Godlike Productions pointed out, in other words, Clinton used his influence to arrange this meeting with Lynch days before and making it look happenstance. The FBI order may have even violated 18 U.S. Code 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, and it points to conspiracy to subvert investigations targeting the Clintons because it's not the FBI's job to block journalists or even private citizens from filming on political or public officials who are meeting in official capacity. Interestingly, it says, interestingly, a day after the secret meeting, Lynch's Justice Department blocked the timely release of the emails between the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton State Department. The Department of Justice officials filed a motion in federal court late Wednesday seeking a 27-month delay in producing correspondence between former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's 4 top aides and officials with the Clinton Foundation and Teneo Holdings, a closely allied public relations firm that Bill Clinton helped launch. The Daily Caller reported if the court permits a delay, the public won't be able to read the communications until October 2018, about 22 months into the prospective first term as president, if she's elected. So why would they let them have that delay? If Loretta Lynch allows that delay, she should have to step down, because she has already said she's backing Hillary Clinton for president. So she's already said that she is biased towards Hillary Clinton already. So there's no way that she can make a judgment that's proper and honest when she's biased towards one person already. If she doesn't recuse herself, like she said she would recuse herself, the word is coming out, but she still reserves the right to step in if she needs to. Tell me this isn't a bunch of BS. Tell me they're not above the law. They are that they think they're better than us, that we mean nothing. We are peasants and we're little pebbles. They walk all over us and crush us between their feet. They could care less. Think about it. But if Loretta Lynch doesn't do her job correctly, she should be arrested. If they choose not to indict Hillary Clinton and go by with what the law permits, if she tells them not to, and she allows them to block the release of the emails, then she hasn't done her job. She's biased in the way she handles her job. And if anybody else does that, they would be probably arrested. I guarantee you, if the Republicans were in office right now, it would be unbelievable, the outcry. And I would have to agree with them, because if they're doing something illegal, then they need to do is be punished for it. I don't care who it is. I don't like it's in best interest of the country. She's not best interest of the country. She's in best interest of herself. I'm in the process of reading the book Crisis of Character. And not even a third of the way into the book, it talks about how Hillary Clinton is bipolar, pretty much. Well, she was in as the First Lady, where she had taken priceless, antiques and hurled them at Bill Clinton and other people and shattered them all over. She's that mental, where she just instantly goes off. And it was well known. So I wanted to do is talk about, you don't have to believe it. All it is it just sounds and smells fishy. You think about it. This is called the Clinton Deadpool. This is and I'm going to list through this. Tell me how wild this sounds. James McDougal. Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner died of apparent heart attack while in solitary confinement. He was a key witness in the Ken Starr investigation. Mary Mahoney, former White House intern, was murdered July 97 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown. The murder happened just after she was to go public with their story of sexual harassment in the White House. Vince Foster, former White House counselor and colleague of Hillary Clinton at Little Rock Rose Law Firm, died of a gunshot wound to the head, ruled a suicide. Ron Brown, Secretary of Commerce and former DNC chairman, reported to died by impact in a plane crash. A pathologist close investigation reported there was a hole in the top of Brown's skull resembling a gunshot wound. At the time of the death, Brown was being investigated and spoke publicly of his willingness to cut a deal with prosecutors. Going through all this, the ones that get me is so going through all these people here, there was a picture that was shared on Facebook. And let me see if I can, let me see if I can find it. Actually, Kimberly Nix Murray, which is, she appears on Night Talk with Joe Rocks. She happened to show she showed the photos, and let me see if I can, I think I'm on, let me see here. I'm trying to do is, there we go. Now I'm on her page. So I'm trying to do is find, all right. It's called the Clinton Body Bag. And it lists the people going through. It says 1, James McDougal, Mary Mahoney, Vince Foster, Ron Brown, C. Victor Razor 2, Paul Tully, Ed Willie, Jerry Parks, James Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Gandhi Bauhi, Baughi, Florence Martin, Suzanne Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casalero, Paul Wiltshire, John Farrell Walker, Barbara Wise, Charlie Mesner, Dr. Stanley Hurd, Barry Seal, Johnny Lawhorn Jr., Stanley Huggins, Herschel Friday, Kevin Ives, Don Henry, Keith Coney, Keith McCaskill, Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Millen, Jordan Kettleson, Richard Winters, and John Ash. All right, so all those people have supposedly died and somehow had something to do with the Clintons, which is very strange. Where that many people that you know, 35, that's 35 people I named, that many people you know that die under suspicious and under weird circumstances. But the following, these following 12 people were all Clinton bodyguards. Major William S. Barkley Jr., Captain Scott J. Reynolds, Sergeant Brian Hanley, Sergeant Tim Sable, Major General William Robertson, Colonel William Densberger, Colonel Robert Kelly, Specialist Gary Rhodes, Steve Willis, Robert Williams, Conway LeBleu, Todd McKeon. All of those were Clinton bodyguards, and they're all dead. That is 47 people that happened to have some dealings with them, and they're dead. I'm like, what are the odds of that? You know, the Mega Millions goes tonight, 400 and some million. I think they said your chances of winning the Mega Millions is 1 in 259 million or something like that. Well, you know, you think of what are the odds of knowing 47 people, and this is not counting anybody from Benghazi, knowing 47 people that are somehow related to you. Let's say you think about that. Now, if some 47 people while you've worked and everything, that all of a sudden you pops up that people die of mysterious circumstance. Oh, a plane crash. Oh, he got a bullet hole in his head. Oh, he had a heart attack. Oh, he committed suicide, but they found him rolled up in a piece of carpet out by the a creek or whatever that runs by. No dirt on his shoes. It's kind of like that kid that was found dead, rolled up in that mat in school, and his shoes were off and down where he was bludgeoned, and they said, "Oh, he got stuck in there and died." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Everything around this family stinks to high heaven, and people sit there, and it just amazes me all the stuff that goes on with this family. It doesn't amaze me that they do the stuff they do. The thing that amazes me is that the public still are going to vote for her. They don't care what she does. They don't. They can have Secret Service come out and people talk about what kind of person she is. They don't care. And then when they find out she is a freaking nutbag, they're going to be like, "Oh, well, we didn't know she was that way." No, you just ignored every sign on the wall. I mean, they're trying, they got Secret Service coming out trying to say she's the biggest nutbag there is, and nobody wants to listen to it. Nobody will report it on the regular mainstream media. When you got media organizations that won't report on something, I mean, they report fictitious stories. How long did they report this fake video crap from the Benghazi deal? And then they come out and they talk about how, they had this investigation and they still found nothing wrong with the... My problem is, all right, so if there was nothing wrong with what the Clintons did Hillary did while she was Secretary of State when Benghazi happened. Why did they? How come nobody was help was never sent? Not that they were not sent after 13 hours. They were never sent. They spent more time worrying about putting on uniforms, taking them off, where they send the Marines, because they were worried about having the flag on their uniform would cause more hatred. Well, the Marines don't wear the U.S. flag on their uniform. But they had them putting on a uniform, taking it off, determining whether they wanted them to respond with it or without it. And then they never sent anybody. And then when they come back and they bring the 4 dead Americans and they're waiting in the hangar, and she walks over to the families of the dead and she tells them, we're going to get these people that, this guy, he made this YouTube video and it caused them the spontaneous demonstration, and just flat lied her ass off to the families of these people. And then when they even knew, and what do? They had the White House press briefing. You talk about, for the right after it happened. Let me see if I can find an article about it. They were talking about how, I guess the day after this apparently happened, it says, oh, that's the one for the one to keep the emails secret. I don't want to make it on another page. No, it should be on this page. Let's see here. But they talked about how I must not have saved that one. But it talked about how the White House press briefing, President Obama skipped that meeting. You'd think if it was just after 4 Americans were killed like that, you think he would have wanted been there to find out what more information they had found? Where was Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama on the night of the Benghazi? Still don't know. They talk about that 3 a.m. call, if you get that. She'll be ready to take that call. Shit, she's going to roll over and say, screw you. Was the embassy understaffed? Hell yes, it was understaffed. Did they ask for more staff? Yes, they did. Did they get it? No. But when the attack happened, and they were calling that they were shooting with rockets and RPGs and all like that, they should have sent help right away, immediately when they called. And they just told them to stand down. They had a fast team ready to respond. Who told them to stand down? Nobody seems to know. It's just like magic. They didn't want to. They purposely are playing stupid. It's like my kids when I find out they did something wrong, and they just stare at me like, and you know the answer to the question, and they look at you like I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard anything about that. It irritates me that this American public will sit there and stand for those answers. I guarantee if it was George Bush gave those same answers right before he was going to get elected and then pushed it off so he could get reelected, there would be all kinds of hell to pay. I mean, it's just ridiculous what has gone on, and it's gone on way too long. Good job, umpire. Get right in the way of the play. Yep. Yeah, now move in so you can get in the way even more, and then you'll back up and get in the way of a double play. Good job. I just watching the umpire get right in the play and block the second baseman from trying to get a ball. I'm not saying the Cubs would have a chance to come back in this game, but it's just you hate to see an umpire, get and cause a blocking of a play. But so Judge Janine, she comes out on Fox. She does the show, and she says she doesn't think there's going to be a Hillary indictment because the first witness as a defendant would have to be President Obama. So she says Friday on Fox News Channel, Fox and Friends, Janine Pirro, former county court and district attorney for Westchester County, New York, downplayed the possibility of presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton being indicted for a private email server while Secretary of State. She said if Clinton was indicted, President Barack Obama would be a witness in a criminal case, which would create a constitutional crisis. The reason she will not be indicted is because her first witness as a defendant in a criminal case is President of the United States. Pirro said because Hillary Clinton emailed President Barack Obama, he knew that she had a private email server, the ClintonEmail.com, so he is complicit. And they will not allow a constitutional crisis where the President of the United States knew about the risking of security of the United States. So that's the scary part of it. So in other words, the President knew that this was going on. So when Hillary should be indicted, keep her from running for election, let Biden or whatever take her place. And after the new election, whoever's elected, indict her, and then indict President Obama. You know, you talk about what's going on in this country right now, and you look at they're bringing record number of Syrian refugees into this country. U.S. has accepted record numbers just in June. They talk about how they couldn't go to rescue 4 Americans over in Europe, Benghazi, I'm sorry. And they're supposed to be doing is rescuing all these Syrians. There's a report that ISIS plans to infiltrate this country by immigration through Syria. So, you think about this. You got these refugees coming in. Why are they bringing them in? Why aren't they doing is allowing them to live in their own country and stabilize their own country? I don't know. I think they want to do is bring as many I would say Syrian, not just Syrian people into this country, from all over, that are predominantly Muslim-dominated religion into this country, so it will eventually evolve into a Muslim-based country. I have that feeling. I have the feeling that it's 100% of the agenda of this administration. You look at what everything has been done step by step by step by this administration this is the route we're headed. Whether you want to believe in God or not, it's not going to matter 20, 30 years from now. If 30 years from now, if I'm still alive, I'll be my father's age at this time. And if I'm still alive, I'm hoping that this country has not evolved into the Middle East. I have nothing against if somebody wants to practice any religion. I don't care if you want to practice Buddhism, or if you want to be Muslim, or if you want to be Catholic, you want to be Christian, you want to be Jewish, it doesn't matter what faith that you have. If you want to be an atheist, you want to pray to a rock and wear a boot on your head, I don't care. Scientologist, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you want to freaking pray to dandelions. It doesn't matter. But if that is your religion, that's fine. But it should not be that because your religion doesn't believe that gay people have a right that we should hurl them off a building. Or they used profanity when they were playing, so we chopped their head off. Or they get to the point where we distrust our wives so much that we make them wear a freaking blanket around. They can call it a burqa. It looks like a freaking blanket. That makes no sense. And that why women are second-class citizens to them. They don't care. And if they rape a woman, it's the woman's fault. The man is not at fault for anything. So I'm just scared to see what this country's headed. And if people think that it's great, everything's going great, this is going to be perfect, nothing's going to happen, you're just a conspiracy theorist. So, well then how come, what's the reason for, and this come off of WND.com, it says, UN denies knowledge of military trucks labeled UN inside the United States. So they have pictures. It says the identity of the owner of Stahl trucks painted with United Nations initials seen being transported through Virginia this week was narrowed on Wednesday a little. They're most probably owned by Afghanistan or Albania, Algeria, Andorra, or Angola. Any of the rest of the 193 states of international organization all the way through Zambia and in Zimbabwe. These are not our vehicles. We don't have vehicles, UN spokeswoman Ismini Pala told WND. But she said it is possible that the member state placed an order with American manufacturer and they simply were being transported to their new owner. It says, I assume, and that's a big assumption, that's probably, or possibility that there has been an agreement for the U.S. to manufacture and produce these vehicles, she said. Any such arrangement would be bilateral, she pointed out, with details made available only from the seller and the buyer. It said just a day earlier, WND consulted with a couple major defense contractors who denied they knew anything about the vehicles. Alpine Armoring had reported earlier to a fact-checking website that the vehicles seen in these photographs were purchased by the United Nations for use outside the United States. It says the explanation continued. A number of defense industry manufacturers are based in and around Washington, D.C. A region that includes Virginia. And obviously logistical reasons, and the representatives confirmed that the trucks were ordered by the UN for use in locations abroad. But when WND contacted Alpen Echo, a spokesman denied the vehicles were produced by the company. WND then referred to another company, BAE Systems, where a spokesman also denied his company division were in any way connected to these vehicles. WND originally reported on Monday when a wave of blogs reported the trucks painted with United Nations initials were being moved by flatbed through Virginia. The issue got attention on the story UN military vehicle seen rolling down the Virginia interstate. Appeared in the American Mirror. Winter Olaf Ekberg asked, "What were the United Nations vehicles doing in Virginia?" That's the motorist who left to wonder where he saw, why, or when they saw the UN tactical vehicles with bulletproof glass on a flatbed truck rolling down Interstate 81. So you think about that. Everybody, we don't know why. We don't know why. And all of a sudden you got military vehicles driving down with bulletproof glass. No, I don't know what happened. So, another article, this comes out on WND. It says, oh, that's not the article I want. It says President Obama launched an attack on sexism, poverty, and the war on during remarks in the United Nations, citing pitfalls of mosquito bites and the need to address diseases in the lead up to what's being billed as Super Monday, the day some of the world's biggest names in leadership met for speeches at the global body. It's a billionaire fellow human beings are at the risk of dying from diseases that we know how to prevent, Obama said Sunday. The New York Times reported men or children are just one mosquito bite away from death. And that's a moral outrage. Yeah, he want to talk about mosquito bites. It's like everything is all like a movie. Now You See Me. You think about every time they do something, it's like, here, look at the hand over here. Oh, no, look at the shiny object over here. Don't look at what's in my other hand. It's like it's all a big shell game for him. Try to follow the ball. So, it gets a little frustrating to do with, I talked to a guy today. He says it doesn't matter what he says. He doesn't believe a single thing that comes out of the president's mouth. It's got to that point. And I was never that way. I never was that way with any president. I don't necessarily dislike the president. I dislike his policies. But we've got to the point where Monday, being the 4th of July, Independence Day, 1776, we declared our independence. And it comes down to this, where this came off of Fox News. It says, ashamed to be American. Towns crack down on American pride. It says the Star-Spangled Banner survived rockets, red glare, and bombs bursting in air only to face modern-day threat. Silly town ordinance and petty bureaucrats. So they're not sure if it's an epidemic of anti-American nincompoopry sweeping across the fruited plain or general lack of common sense. Maybe it's both. I'll let you be the judge of that. That's what they said. In Lexington, South Carolina, Marine veteran Bob Michaelis was told to remove a patriotic display from his mattress company. We got 10 flags up. He told television station WIS. I thought maybe it was about time we returned patriotism in America. That's not enough of it. It seems to be lost. But instead of congratulating Bob's patriotism, the town's fathers dispatched the law. He was informed that the flags violated an ordinance. The town of Lexington says that they've got to come down because there's an ordinance in place. The town administrator told WIS they did not issue Bob a citation, nor did they tell him to take down the flags. It says, so why did they dispatch the police to visit Bob's store? Did they need new bedding for the local jail? Town Administrator Britt Poole told WIS they just wanted to have a conversation with the police. It said Lexington Mayor Steve McDougal posted a message on Facebook defending their actions. He said the ordinance has been on the books since 1999 and was enacted over a negative situation involving the Confederate flag. It's not a Confederate flag. It's a United States flag. It is never our intent to interfere with the business, but we have a duty to protect our community and do that with great pride. We have members of our community that have fought and died for our freedom to display this great symbol of the United States of America, the mayor wrote. Regardless, Old Glory remains unfurled outside Bob's mattress store. Meanwhile, residents in Newport Beach, California, are battling over City Hall over their Independence Day decorations. Their local there stretch red, white, and blue triangle flags from the home to express their American pride. It adds a festive touch to the island. Resident Sharon Lambert told the LA Times. Code enforcement officers disagreed and fired a letter explaining the decorations violated a city ordinance. The letter warned that residents had 1 day to remove the decorations or further enforcement actions may be taken. So the residents have decided to ignore the warnings, even if it means getting a fine. The most egregious example of any patriot sentiment can be found in pages of the New York Daily News. Here's the one I talked about earlier. Columnist Gersh Kuntzman penned an ugly diatribe titled, Major League Baseball Must Permanently Retire God Bless America, a song that offends everyone. Doesn't offend me. Yes, good readers, the New York Daily News wants us to stop asking Almighty to bless our great nation during the seventh inning stretch. It says the song still embodies great things about America, but also our worst things, self-righteousness, forced piety, earnest self-reverence, foam, he wrote. Mr. Kuntzman probably takes umbrage with Mother's Day and apple pie too. Well, he probably needs to do is, I bet if it said, Allah bless America, then he'd probably have no problem with it. He wouldn't want to sit there and offend anybody. So I find his article offending that he wants to take it down or stop people from singing it. You know, if you don't like it, stick your fingers in your ear, change the channel, go somewhere else. I think it should stick with what they got. So, whether you like it or not, too friggin' bad. But I mean, that's what we have to deal with nowadays. Everybody's so worried about offending somebody else that they, you know, they're so afraid of offending everybody else that they turn this, they pussify America, turn us into a bunch of wussies. You got to call in the police on 9-year-olds because he called his snack a brownie. Oh, that's racist. What do you call Girl Scouts? Brownies? I'm just like, it just amazes me how stupid society has got over just years and years of political correctness. You know, you call them You know, when's it going to stop? Where do we go from here? What is it? I mean, what is it going to evolve into? You know, there's so afraid of offending anybody that they just make themselves sound like stupid idiots. So, if we go another 4 years of, if Hillary gets elected, which I don't know how she can get by with her without getting indicted. Well, if she goes without getting indicted and she gets elected, it'll be another 4 years of this crap. It'll be impossible to repair this country. I think it will be done as a country. You'll start to see states do exactly what Britain did. It'll be like Brexit. It'll be Texit. You'll see other states leaving. And then you got people like Michael Moore. Oh, Britain's gone. Take us in, please. No, take your ass over there and go over with them. You want to be like that? Go move to Germany. You want to be that way? You want free health care and everything? Because he's the epitome of health. He won't need it. Go over to Europe and go. You know, you want to be that way? There you go, buddy. Well, we're going to call it 10 minutes early, since my show is all chopped up anyway with losing connection. And I will not be on Monday night. It's the 4th of July. Everybody have a great night, great weekend. Be safe. Remember fireworks. Be careful around them. If you're lighting them off, be extra careful. Don't be that statistic where you come back with missing fingers and stuff. And if you're drinking, just like you're saying, don't drink and drive. Don't drink and light off fireworks, because you're bound to do is get injured that way. So everybody have a great night, a great weekend. Have a great 4th of July. And like I say, most of all, be safe.
One, two.